My name is Earl Hendricks. Ever wonder how to take professional looking pictures just using your smartphone and the app that's already installed? Well, in this video, I'll be sharing some tips with you that will help you to do just that and to have more keepable memories. So, stick around. Okay, so you arrive at your place of destination, you're all excited because right behind me, as you can see, there's a lovely view right there of a pond. And I'm sure you're ready to snap away. But before you do that, there's something I want you to do. And that is the best thing you can do for taking those pictures. Tip number one is to make sure you have a clean lens. So make sure that you have something handy, like a lens tissue, to clean the lens. Both the front and the back lens needs to be cleaned, right? Especially the back lens that has, in these days they have more than one lenses. You have the regular lens, you have a zoom lens, and also in some of the more modern cameras have a wide angle lens. So go ahead and clean your lens so that you're going to be starting off on the right footing. Tip number two that I'm going to share with you has to do with setting up a setting in your phone to get the right composition exactly where you want it to get that professional looking feel and the composition. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into your smartphone settings, and I'll be walking you through how to do that, regardless if you have an iPhone or an Android. Okay, here we are then. So first things we're going to do, we're going to go into our settings. Then we're going to scroll all the way down to your camera. Right here. And then where you see grid, turn on the grid. All right, so we can back out of that now and I'll show exactly what that looks like. So now you can see the grid lines in the photograph, and I know what you guys are thinking. Will that be my photograph? No, they're just guidelines to help you to compose your picture properly. Now we have this pond here, and we're looking at the pond with the reflection of the sky and the tree in there. And I know you're tempted to go ahead and snap it, so I'm just going to go ahead and snap this picture and capture it. Okay, so I've captured a photograph, but is that the best photograph? If you look closer, you can see several cars in the photograph. You can also see at the right end of the frame, right side of the frame, what looks like a garbage bin and the start of a set of postal boxes right there. You really don't want those in your photograph. One of the things you're going to have to understand about taking photographs is to know your subject. Your subject is this pond, and you want to capture that pond in its best form or best format. So let me guide you as to how you do just that. Now, if you were to actually walk a couple of feet closer, you'll notice something magical happening. The pond is getting closer, and now you can get a better view of the pond, and the sign and the garbage bin is not in your view. Let's swivel around so we can get out the road. All right, now you notice something also, that those grid lines that you can see are there to help you to set up the picture properly. Now there are a couple of elements that are out there. You have houses in the background, you have cars, and these will add to the whole feel of this pond in a neighborhood with the sky and so on. So you'll notice that you have your screen divided up in what we call thirds, and in photography we call this the rule of thirds. They are there, these lines are there to help you create interest in your photograph. So there, we've captured a picture of this neighborhood pond, and now we're going to go to a different angle to capture a different perspective of this lovely pond. And now we can see another interesting shot by lining up that top horizontal line as much as you possibly can with your camera. Go ahead and snap that shot. And you can swivel around and possibly take another shot. Now, you can also actually take a more interesting shot if you want to get more of the sky in there. Alright, so we're going to use the bottom horizontal line to line along that leading edge of the pond. There you go, snap that shot, turn around, get another shot. There you go. Here's another feature of my development, this lovely pond. Right at the entrance as you come in from off the road. And I'm going to use a rule of thirds to capture this lovely pond with its fountain. So you line up your fountain and you click away. Capturing your photograph. Alright. So that is a rule of thirds, and knowing what your subject is. Now before we leave our scenic pond here, there's another feature of your app that's installed on your phone that I'd just like to take advantage of. And that has to do with the Telezoom feature. For most of you, if you look on the screen of your phone right now with the grid, you'll notice that there's a 1x. But suppose you want to get a closer picture of that fountain. All you need to do is to click on that 1x and voila, you have the fountain a lot closer. There you can go ahead now and snap your photograph, making that the subject of your photograph. Wasn't that easy? Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the outdoor scenery so far. But to complete this video, I'm going to go indoors to photograph a model / figurine, as well as an indoor plant, in order to demonstrate a few other neat features of your smartphone app that allows you to capture great pictures. So let's jump right into it. Alright, here I have my model as one of the figurines in my home, giving thanks and praise. I just love this figurine. It's one of a set of 3. Okay, and in this photograph, I'm just gonna go ahead and do what we're naturally inclined to do when you see a photograph like this. Just snap. But to make the picture more interesting, go ahead and step forward while holding the camera steady in portrait mode. That is holding it vertically, and go as close as you possibly can and go ahead and snap the picture. And there you go. You'll notice that the figurine or the model is very sharp and the background looks blur. And this is how the pros do it, to separate the subject from the background. And to satisfy your curiosity, here are the 3 figurines that we have in our set right here in our living room. Beautiful ladies offering thanks and praise. For those of you who like to photograph flowers, same principle holds true. It's natural impulse when you see something like this is to want to just go ahead and just snap. But if you follow the principle of know your subject and to fill your frame with that subject, which in this instance are the actual blooms, you possibly want to compose your picture with a little bit of the leaf and some of the blooms right there. And when you're satisfied with it, go ahead and take your photograph. Okay, and you'll notice that again the background is looking out of focus and the bloom itself is nice and sharp. Now let us take a look at this photograph that we just captured. Picture looks nice, background is blurred, nice bokeh and everything. However, you may notice that there are some things that is still not quite right about the photograph. that line at the side, the walls are still a bit slant. We're going to be using the crop as well as the straighten mode in the software to help you to correct this. So follow along now. At the top of the screen you'll see edit. Go ahead and hit on edit and you'll see the icons that comes up. The extreme one to the right beside done, go ahead and hit that one. Square box right there with the rotary arrows, go ahead and hit that. It says straighten, and what we're going to be doing is to use those vertical lines at the bottom there to help to straighten. So let's go ahead and click on it, move it to the right, and you notice that the photograph is moving and the lines are now more parallel to the wall at the right side. Okay, so that is straightened. Now we're going to be using the placeholders at the top right hand corner here to come down closer to the flower, and at the right, towards the left rather, bring it up and closer to the flower to help to crop it. You can get some more of this white ceiling out of the photograph by doing this. When you're done, you're satisfied with it, go ahead and click done. And there you have it. Nicely framed, nicely composed photograph, and your subject there being your lovely purple orchid. So friends, we've covered a lot today. We'll talk about getting your lens clean to begin with, and then holding your phone vertically or horizontally. From now on, it's going to be called portrait mode or landscape mode. And then identify your subject. Whatever your subject is going to be, know that that is your subject. Simplify. Simplify by moving forward, moving around to make sure you're focusing attention on your subject. And you can do this in several ways. One, to remove distractions by moving around, getting closer, filling your frame with the subject, and using bokeh or a blur background. In addition to that, you realize that even when doing all of that, you still need to crop the photograph. And I showed you earlier on how to do that. We have indeed covered a lot today. So again, if you found value in this video, why not go ahead and subscribe, comment, share, and so on. And I look forward to sharing some more photography tips with you in the very near future. So until then, ta-ta for now.